In our quest to be as self-sufficient as we possibly can with growing our own fruit and veg, we've planted a lot of seeds and we've also got a lot more to plant. We've been putting in veg beds with borders and infilling with compost so we can grow in a no-dig way, but we also have a lot of space, a lot of seeds, and want to experiment with growing directly in the ground. And as we got some pretty heavy rain last night, our water barrels are full again. The ground is pretty wet, so it's a good time to turn the soil and get it ready to put some seeds directly in the earth.
It's
warm, isn't it?
Sun's come out now.
Yeah. So many.
The strawberry's ready.
Oh. Right way. Bit more.
Extra. The strawberry's good.
Is there?
Yeah. Hi.
I'll just tip it, I'll sort it out. So as well as trying to be self-sufficient with growing our own fruit and veg, we also want to do the same with compost. And as we finished the compost heaps last week, or at least bays 1 and 2, we want to start filling them up. It's going to take quite a while before any of the compost is actually ready to use, so we will need to keep buying from the shop for the next couple of months. But after that, we're hoping that we can produce enough that we won't then have to buy it as we have been doing so far. We've cut a lot of mimosa recently and we've run it through the chipper, so we have quite a big pile of it. So we're going to test and see if we can actually make compost with it. Because we have so much, we can see if it doesn't work, but we can at least try. Yeah, you can dump that in. Very mixed consistency, this pile.
Or should we wait till tomorrow?
Is it not ready?
It is, but it might be better tomorrow.
Because there's not had any sun today.
Yeah. Also, that side's really red, and that side's got a fade. And then maybe this one will be ready tomorrow too. And then we can have one each. They're growing.
So after spending this morning extending our planting area with 3 new rows to plant into, and we have some new things to plant.
Sweet potato, some more red cabbage because we eat lots of tacos with salsa, stingy nettles, and 2 types of onions. It's going to be great. Oh, free onion.
A free onion.
That's a stone. These are very purple.
Yeah, they're really purple, aren't they?
Look at him. Make my cabbage happy, but don't eat it. How's that look?
That's good.
Gary got really carried away with the length of lines that he dug up. I planned on them just being really short, but never mind. So now we have loads of extra space, and we eat quite a lot of onions. And the last ones we bought as plugs. So we saw 2 different kinds of onions in the shops yesterday. So we figured we might as well try them and see what happens and see if we have any luck. Bianca DiMaggio looks like a fat-bottomed spring onion. Cebola Branca de Lisboa. good. Started to germinate some corn a couple of weeks ago when my parents were here, and they actually took really well, and we were quite surprised. Okay, if they grow them, we could maybe grow some more.
Yeah.
So we're going to put the ones that we germinated in the trays into the big bed with the compost in it, because then it can get lots of nutrients from that, and then we're going to test some in here straight into the ground and just see what happens. We really like corn, so if it works, that's great. And then because they're really tall, or they should be if they grow, then they should act as a bit of shade for the other vegetables further down the garden later on in the day, because we've noticed a few of them getting slightly droopy because they're very toasty. Yeah, we'll also put on shade covers and whatnot, but this acts as just kind of a natural thing that we can do through the day.
As in like a bit towards you.
In the face. This is the moment we end up with a garden coated in nettles.
Someone suggested we grow the nettles in pots. Just don't really like growing stuff in pots. So we're going to grow them here, and then when they eventually grow everywhere and not just in this nice row, you can put in the comments that you told us not to do it. So nettles, you can actually eat the leaves. You can cook them kind of like spinach and have them in salads and stuff, but that's not why we're growing them. We're growing them because they make a really good fertilizer for plants, a really good liquid fertilizer. So when they grow, you can chop them, soak them in water for a while, and they turn into a kind of like a concentrated plant fertilizer. So, and seeing as we're growing a lot of plants, and it would be helpful to give them some extra nutrition that wouldn't be like a chemical fertilizer, then this is quite a good way to do it. So we're going to try it. We may end up digging all these up. Hopefully not. Oh really?
Yeah, it's got some mushy in the middle. So you'll have seen us start the wardrobe a couple of weeks ago now, and we keep saying when the weather's bad again, we'll do it. And now I'm just fed up of having all of our stuff everywhere and half wardrobe built. So whilst Kieran's away doing some land clearing today, I'm just chipping away in between work jobs to be able to get the shelves ready so that we can whack them in by the end of the week.
So for the last few days I've been doing some land work, not on our property, but today we're back in the garden and we're planting fruit trees. If you've been watching us for a while, you know that we go and pick lemons and oranges from one of the neighbours' houses, and at some point we want to be able to actually pick our own oranges and lemons and other fruits from our own land, so the fruit trees that we bought about 5 weeks ago need putting in the ground. We've changed our mind on actually where the trees are going. Originally we'd planned for them to go at the bottom of the hill, kind of across in front of the forest, but we've got a lot of forestry work to do and a lot of cutting down trees, and we don't want to destroy them or crush them when we cut trees down. So instead they're going on the left hand side of the hill, just below the olive trees, where they'll get still a lot of sun in the day, but they'll also hopefully later in the day cast some shade over vegetables. We've actually marked out like 6 to 8 spots for fruit trees. We've got 2 already. We're definitely getting 2 Granny Smith apple trees because you need 2 for the pollination. Boss, I have an idea. People can put in the comments what trees we should get.
Yeah.
And then if we get them, we could name it after who suggested the tree. So if you've got any suggestions on what trees we should get, put them in the comments, and then if we do end up getting any of those trees, we'll come back to this episode, look at the comments, and then name the tree after you.
So if you have a funny name for your handle, then you should probably also put your name with the suggestion so that we can name it properly. No.
Look at you. It's a squeaky shovel, isn't it?
Yeah.
With WD-40 on.
Big shovel. That would be helpful.
Tip him out. Ooh.
His roots are tiny.
Yeah.
It's my new gardening position. Good stretch.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
Eventually.
Indian rice.
Oh yeah. Go on then. Go a bag it.
That's a lot of stone. They're gonna need that space.
Yeah, so I guess what we want to do now is mix in some soil with this,
Okay.
then spread it around, put the universal into the middle bit.
So dry now.
Get super dry on top now. This one's much better for mixing. Alright. So put them on there. So that's like so just to hold them in temporary, so you don't have to hold it up. So we've got our two fruit trees in. We have one orange and one lemon tree. As with anything on the internet, there's numerous things that say to do it one way and then others that say don't do that and do it a different way. So some advice says plant trees just in the soil, never use compost. Some say just use compost. Some say use a mix. So we went with a mix. We've mixed in compost with the soil that the trees are actually in. What we've also done is created a little bit of almost a moat kind of thing around the tree because of the slope. Hopefully it'll allow water to sit in around the tree a little bit better and seep in rather than just running across over the surface. So it actually looks really cool. I really like it. We were talking about this earlier today. Obviously having flat land to plant on and grow things is a hell of a lot easier, but this is going to be so much cooler. The way the trees are terraced in, the way the beds are kind of put in, it's way more fun. It's a lot more enjoyable. It's really fun to try and make it work on the landscape. So we actually really like the hill, even though it's really steep to go up and down multiple times a day. As we mentioned before, we've got a few spaces for other fruit trees that we want to get. So put your suggestions in the comments. If we pick them, we'll put a name on. So there's a couple of spaces that we've got. One is just up from the trees that we've just planted, so we've got another space for one there. We've got two on the far side of the vegetable beds, and then we've got space for currently 3 at the bottom of the hill, 4 once we take out that clump of mimosa trees that are currently occupying a bit of space. We've got space for about another 6 to 8-ish trees, so put your suggestions in the comments. They want water anyway. Big chunky bits there, eh? We were planning a fairly small operation of growing for this year, but we started planting stuff and then kind of just kept adding more and more and starting more seeds. We do eat a lot, so we'll definitely use it or give it away. So today we're planting even more stuff.
Oregano, basil, jalapenos, rosemary, dill, thyme, cayenne, coriander, and mint. Also got some black beans because we eat loads of them. So we're going to try and sprout them and see if we can grow some of our own.
What are they?
Coriander.
Ah, okay.
So we saw someone else that was planting herbs that they filled little pots like this with compost, and then they put the seeds over the top, put some compost over that, so just like you get in the supermarket. So we thought this might let them get, they're absolutely tiny, so I've no idea how many are in it. So we thought this might let them get a little bit bigger before we plant them, because we're not having immense luck with them in the seed trays. Dill for pickling cornichons. Alecrim. Ooh, what is he? That was on the cucumbers earlier. What is it? I don't like that anyway. Good in there, because there's not much point in having one of each in each thing, because you don't know where it works or not.
Shit. There you go. So as well as planting things for eating, we also have a section of the garden where we want to plant some flowers for pollinators and just to kind of make it look a whole lot nicer. The section where we pulled up all of the bramble roots is now just bare earth. So we're going to put in a load of flower seeds and hopefully make it a nice area for bees. Like that. Sounds like there.
Maybe go a bit less.
In there. I'll be amazed if all these grow. Because it's going to be quite dry. So this week we got a lot of planting done, and other than the black beans that we're soaking, I think that's pretty much us done for seeds for now. We just need to wait for all of our seedlings to grow. We'll plant them out in the ground. Everything growing in the ground is doing really well, and the orange and the lemon tree both look really healthy. Well, we are nearing the land clearance deadline. It's actually next week. So we are going to be cutting through some more of this hedge to cut it back, make it a little bit safer around the edge of the land. We've also got to cut back all the regrowth between the eucalyptus trees and clear out the piles of firewood that we've got. Then the week after that, the plan is to begin work on our tiny house project and start with taking off the roof. Thanks for watching. See you next week.